Cool. Well, hello, everyone. Hola. Before starting, can I ask you a favor? I promised my mom that I was going to speak in front of 500 people, and I counted all of you, and you are like 480 or 90, if I'm correct. I have this theory that if we all scream or do some noise, the people that is outside will join because they want to see what's going on, you know? So if you can join me or help me at the count of 3 and we do like, hey, you, wow, clap and everything, that will be super amazing. So hope that you join. 1, 2, 3. Amazing. Amazing. Well, I have 2 people, so now I have 492, but it's okay. It's okay. Well, thank you very much for joining. Thank you for being here. Today we will talk about, well, an interesting topic. I think it's more relaxed, probably not super technical. I'm waiting for the screen to appear there. And there we go. Today I will tell you to start a short story. This story is, let me see if this is, it's off. There we go. Okay, I will do it with my hand. It's okay. I will tell you the story of a guy. Let's put a name to this guy. Let's call him Facundo. Facundo lives in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Everyone from Buenos Aires? No? Oh, well, there we go. There we go. Amazing. Cool. So Facundo is thinking about the Christmas gift. He wants to buy some gift for his family. He enters to his favorite e-commerce shop, and these are the offers that Facundo is seeing when he wants to buy gifts. The people that is from Buenos Aires probably already know this, and if you have been in Buenos Aires on Christmas or December, you would see that the temperature normally, I mean, we are in summer, so the temperature is 30 degrees or 86 Fahrenheit, depending on how you used to measure the temperature. So, I mean, I understand this image, and it's totally fine for the United States or all the countries in the North Hemisphere, but this is the image that we have for Christmas. So if I enter to a website that is trying to sell me a sweater, probably I'm not going to feel that identified, let's say. So what we are trying to do is to Facundo to feel better when he enters to a website and to be pleased, let's say, or enjoy his staying on that website. To do that, we can implement something called personalization. Personalization is the ability to offer exclusive experiences to the people based on existing data. Probably the term data sounds super technical, but we will see later that it's actually data. An example of personalization would be if you go to your favorite coffee shop, probably the people from the coffee shop already know your name or what you're going to order. Okay, Facundo wants exactly the same, you know? I mean, even though that, depending on the country where you are, probably Facundo, I mean, it's kind of complicated to get it noted on Starbucks. I encourage you to try that. But I mean, he expects to have a custom experience when he's browsing a website. As we are in a developer conference, we are going to talk about web personalization, which is the ability to deliver this content granularly and offer exclusive web experiences to different personas, let's say, based on the existing data. Examples of this personalization are, for instance, if you go to an online retailer, you can see target offers depending on your browsing behavior. For instance, if you go to the Amazon website, you will see some offers or products that are related to previous purchases that you did on the website. Or if you go to a news and media platform, you will be able to see content based on, for instance, where you live. If you go to Netflix, for instance, you will see movies, you will see series that are related to content that is popular on your location, on your country, your city. And those are types of web personalization, let's say, which are based on different data or different details, but we will talk about that a little bit later. You can see I took this screenshot, some soccer or football content, depending on how you call it. I'm a world champion. I don't know if you know that, but it's a big thing in Argentina. You know, everywhere you go, you have to emphasize that, but that's the reason why that series, we have it there at the top. why should we be interested into personalization? I mean, why should I care about personalization? Well, basically because nowadays, all the people expect custom content for them. I mean, the user expectation is at that level. I can share with you different studies and different statistics based on interviews done to different people, but roughly 60–70% of the people, when they are browsing a website, they are expecting personalized content for them. So that's something that we as organizations, we have to take care of, right? The same with the impression that we want to offer to the people. We want to provide a better impression to them, and we want them to enjoy our website and the experience that we are providing to them. And finally, why we want to do that? Because nowadays we have a lot of competition between the different services and products that we offer. So, I mean, the better service or the better experience that we can offer to the users of our products, the better, of course. Some of the benefits that we will see when implementing personalization on our website is, well, we will enhance the user experience related to the same that we mentioned before. We will also have a greater brand affirmity. I mean, our brand will have a better image, let's say, because, well, our users are enjoying what we are offering to them. And finally, if we are trying to sell a service or a product, we will have better qualified leads, because when we are offering something to someone that they are looking for something in particular, it's possible that they are more interested on the product or the service that we are offering if that service is kind of speaking to them, right? I mean, I can offer a person 50 products, but if I offer a person 10 products that I'm pretty sure that are going to be interesting to them, I will probably have more chances that that person is going to come back and say, hey, I like what you sell, you know? Cool. So personalization, we can have different types of personalization based on how we get the data from the users and how we show that custom content that we want to show. The first type of personalization that I'm going to mention is the explicit personalization, which is the experience that we are modeling based on data that is shared by the customers or the users by themselves. An example of this is when you have a website and you go to that website and you see that the website, let's say, is asking you what are your interests or some details about you, and you answer them. You know, you can offer custom content based on that later on with the information that they share with you explicitly. Another type of personalization is the implicit personalization, where the content that we are going to offer is based on the behavior of the visitors, let's say the previous purchases or the history or the pages that they visit, let's say, I mean, of course, with the limitation or of the privacy of that user, right? Or contextual, where are they browsing? I mean, where are they located? Where that person lives? Things like that. An example would be, well, quite the opposite of the Christmas example that we saw at the beginning. When you enter a web page, and depending on the weather of the city that you live in, you can have different offers of products based on that. We can also have the interactive personalization. Let's say this is more related to the way that we are presenting that content. And this is when the experience that we are offering, I mean, it's unexpected for the people that is visiting our website or our product. An example would be push notifications on our cell phones. I mean, sometimes you receive offers on your mobile phone that you weren't expecting, but they are based on previous purchases that you did or restaurants that you order food from. And finally, we have the seamless personalization, which is the personalized content that we offer as a part of the whole experience of our website or product. An example would be Spotify. When we enter to Spotify, we want to see the most popular artist or related to the genre of music that I enjoy the more, or artists that I've listened in the last month, let's say. That's something that I'm expecting, that I see that as a part of the product or the service that I'm consuming. So let's say that I convinced you and you want to implement a personalization strategy on your products or services. There are a list of steps that we need to follow to successfully offer custom content to our users. The first step would be, well, collecting the data from the visitors. We have different ways of doing that based on the type of data that we want for our personalization campaign, or the campaign that we are going to model. Some of the ways that we can get that information are asking the visitors directly with the explicit type of personalization that we mentioned before, mapping a customer journey based on the pages that they are visiting. We can track with cookies or marketing emails what they did in the past, let's say, or if they explicitly share their details with us or with our company, we can use those company records as a source of data and details from the visitors. Once we have all those details, we need to create user profiles. We need to somehow create a persona, let's say, with the details that we are trying to identify or segment. And another concept that it's mentioned while talking about personalization is segmentation. We need to segment the people that we are targeting. So, for instance, we can have Facundo that is 34 years old. He lives in Buenos Aires, and he's interested into purchasing Christmas items, let's say. So when we are defining this profile or this persona, now we have to set our goals. I mean, what do we want to do? We want to increase our conversions. We want to offer new products. We want to offer promotions to the visitors of our website. We want to sell more products. We want to increase the retention of the visitors of our website. Depending on, again, the different profiles that we are identifying, we can also set what are our goals or what we want to achieve from this personalization campaign that we are going to plan and implement. That will be the last step. We are going to plan a strategy. We are going to identify the different areas from our website or our product, and we are going to draft a personalization campaign. I mean, which changes we are going to implement to our website or to the different sections of our website, and based on those changes, what we want to receive in exchange, let's say. So we draft different campaigns. We evaluate these campaigns based on how easy it is to implement them, but also how much impact is going to have on again, our goals and our metrics. And based on that, we can try or test those campaigns with different different procedures. We can use, for instance, A/B testing or different other tools that we can use and are available in the market to implement personalization. But basically, the idea is to test these campaigns, see how they perform, and based on that, iterate to improve them or probably try a different strategy. So having this list of steps in mind, I created a quick demo that I want to share with you. I want to show you this simple website that I created. Is basically an e-commerce website, let's say, where we sell different types of clothing. I mean, we offer elegant and we offer sportswear. We have a catalog of products, and we have these different categories on the catalog. So let's say that Facundo enters into the website. He's super crazy about the World Cup, like, I need jerseys, I need shorts, And the guy goes to the sportswear catalog, and he's going to see only the sports product that we are selling on our website. But let's say that we want to identify Facundo as this guy is a super fan of sports and sportswear. So we want to offer Facundo certain promotions so we can get more money from Facundo and sell more products, right? So the idea is that when we identify that Facundo is super interested into the sportswear, the next time that Facundo visits our website, we are going to offer some promotions on the banner that we have at the header of the website, which is, again, focalized on this type of products that we are selling and that we want to offer to Facundo. This simple example is using cookies. Basically, what we are doing is whenever a person is visiting for the first time one of our categories, we are going to mark that user as this guy is interested into this category, and the next time that they are visiting the homepage, we are going to show the appropriate banner. So for this simple demo, I've used Storyblok. Storyblok is a headless content management system that we can use to create and manage content And well, as it is headless, we can use any framework to create our project and to consume this content and to use that content. In this case, I've used Remix for the example because, well, I will share a code a little bit later, but you will see that the code is pretty simple. So I was able to achieve that using Remix, and also with a couple of features that I wanted to play, I was able to create this simple project. But what I want to show you now is let's say the background of this website. First, what I want to show you is the actual page. I mean, this is the Storyblok application, the place where I can create the content and manage the content that I'm going to display on my website. As you can see, Storyblok has a real-time visual editor where we can see the content that we are creating and how it is going to look like. Actually, I can enter to these different components and parts of my page. I can edit the different values of the components and the properties that these components have. And you can see in real time the content that I'm creating and editing in the real-time preview window that we have, that we call it Visual Editor. So this is super helpful for the content editors. But what I wanted to focus on today is that the content that we create in Storyblok can be organized into reusable components that are called blocks. If you see on the right-hand side, I have a personalized content component and a rich text component. This component has, well, the text that I want to show on my homepage, but this personalized content is a block or a component that has other components inside of it. And if you can see, we have these variants, each one for, I mean, one variant for each one of the catalogs that we have. We have the sportswear, we have the elegant, and we also have this generic one. And inside of each one of these variants, you will see the content that we are defining and which type of user we want to show that content to, right? So as you can see, we have a call to action component, another component. As you can see, we can nest these components and create this nested architecture. And then we have all the details for the different properties of the components. We have a headline, a text, an image, all of that for the banner that I'm showing on the homepage of my application. If I enter to one of the other content variants, you will see the sportswear, the call to action is showing the content that I want to show to the people that is interested into sportswear. So the cool thing is that I can manage all the different variants inside the same tool, and I'm providing that easy way of managing the content to the content editor. So they don't need to call a developer to get help on creating the different variants or the different content that they want to display. They can do them. They can do that by themselves. So the main idea is to make the work easier to the users that are going to create this content. Besides that, I have my Remix application. I don't want to spend a lot of time explaining all the architecture, but it's pretty simple. I mean, if you create a brand new Remix project, you will see a similar file architecture. I want to focus on these dynamic routes that are called splat routes. They allow us to render dynamic routes, I mean, or catch a group of routes and render all of them with the same logic, let's say. So I have a general splat route that I'm using to render, in this case, only the home page of my website, but we can use it to render any page from the website. Using Storyblok, well, here we have a React hook that we are using to generate this connection between Storyblok and my application to generate that real-time visual preview that we saw before, because it's not generated by Storyblok, like it's the real website connected to Storyblok. But the important thing that I wanted to mention is this Storyblok component, which is a React component, a dynamic component that will help us to render whatever component is coming from the Storyblok API. So our project is connecting to the Storyblok API. We are retrieving all the structure and the content from our page. And based on that structure, we are going to render the different components that are inside our page. So this Storyblok component will go through all the components of our project, the components that I have inside the components folder. And based on the type of component that is coming from the Storyblok API, it will render automatically the block that we want to show on our website or our web page. I have the different components for the different blocks that we define in Storyblok. I want to focus only on one this time, which is the personalized content block, which is the one that we saw on the page before, the personalized content, because it has some interesting logic here. I'm using the React use cookie library to, well, get and set the cookie that is going to define which type of user is visiting our website. So I try to get the user type with the get cookie function. If I have a user type, I will filter the variants that I have inside my personalized content and only display the one that links to the type of user that is visiting the page. Remember that we identified that based on the first catalog that the person is visiting. I mean, this is one of the components. As you can see, inside we have another server block component because we have, again, all the components that are nested and that we saw before, this call to action, the image, the text, the button, etc. And finally, I have this route inside the catalog, which is the one that we are going to use to render each one of the catalogs that we have on our website. We also have at the beginning of our function, when we are calling this rendering function, we are verifying if we have a user type. I mean, if we already set a cookie for that user, because we want to only consider the first time that they are visiting a catalog page. So if we already set a user type for the user, that's okay. If not, we are setting that based on the category that the user is visiting. We are getting this category from the route of the page that they are visiting, and we are also filtering all the products here. As you can see, we are setting this filter query, which is basically a param that we are sending to the server block API to get only the products that have that category assigned. So this is basically an API client that server block library provides. Server block has different libraries that we can use for our projects. In this case, I used the server block React library because, well, I'm using Remix. But yeah, I mean, if you want to learn more about server block, how to retrieve content, how to use content, and how to set up that real-time visual editing experience, I encourage you to go to the server block website. We have different tutorials, libraries, and tools to make your work easier. But today I wanted to focus on this personalization strategy and how I implemented that in this simple project. As you were able to see, I collected the data from the visitors, which is the first time that they are visiting one of the catalogs. I created the user profile, which is Facundo, the soccer fan guy, you know. We set our goals, which is selling more products to Facundo, and then we plan and implemented this strategy, which is showing offers and promotions in the home page whenever Facundo is visiting our website. So this was a simple demo on how to implement a personalization strategy. Follow these steps. And this talk was personalization, the art of offering custom experiences. Again, my name is Facundo Giuliani. I'm a developer relations engineer at STRBlock. I live in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm one of the organizers of React Buenos Aires, which is the biggest React community in Argentina. We organize monthly meetups in the city. And I'm part of the organization of NodeConf Argentina, sorry, which is a big conference that we are trying to organize by the end of the year. So if you're planning to go to Buenos Aires, or if you are around and you want to meet some cool developers and listen to some interesting talks, feel free to contact me. So gracias, thank you very much.